Hello everyone. Today we are going to see few tips in Power BI. So these tips we can use whenever we are developing a report. So it will be very useful. So we can see one by one. The first point is disable auto date or time and use a separate calendar table instead. So whenever we are importing a table in Power BI, automatically in the backend there will be a calendar table generated automatically. So those tables will be occupying some space in Power BI, right? Instead of that, we can use our own calendar table. So we need to disable this option whenever we are developing a report. So that option it will be there in File, Option Setting, and click on this option. So here in this dialog box, we can see this data load, right? Under this, we will be having an option called time intelligence. Here, the automatically this selection will be enabled initially. What we need to do is we need to uncheck it and we need to click OK. So whatever the data is being a table, it's been generated in the backend automatically, the calendar table, right? That will be disabled. So whatever the space which is being occupied in the backend, it will be free now. So we can create our own date master table and we can use it for our calculations. So this is the first point. The next thing is instead of using this slash, right, for divide DAX like for dividing, we will be using the slash, right. Instead of that, we can use this DAX function divide. So it is an optimized way. In the same way, we can use instead of this if condition in DAX, we can use the switch condition. This is also an optimized way. The next point is we can use this apply all slicer button. So I will explain you. So we have in reports we'll be having a multiple slices, right? So in this report I am having two slices here. So what it does is, for example, for this product ID, it goes to the backend and it's getting filtered here. According to this selection, it is getting filtered. Again, if I need for this product ID, this customer ID, I need the details. I will be clicking this. So again, what it does is it goes to the backend, filters the data and it produces the result here. So whenever I am clicking each and every selection, it goes to the backend and it's filtering it and it's generating the result. So instead of that, what we can do is go to modeling here. Go to insert. Here we'll be finding a button option. Click on this apply all slicer. So what this slicer does is whenever we are selecting the slices here, right, for product ID, this slicer this option I am selecting. Again, in customer ID I am selecting this option. So it doesn't filter anything. If you observe, right, if you can observe, it will not filter anything. Only if I click on this apply all slicer, only once it goes to the backend and it will produce the result here. You can see here now. Sorry, for this option, there is no uh, value available. Uh, 1 minute, I'll just check it out. So only once if I select these two, right? For only once it goes to the backend and it filters the result. So this is how this will be in another optimized way. So if we have multiple slicer, right, we can select according to our wish. Only once if we click on this apply all slicer, it goes only once to the backend and it filters the data in the front end. So this is how we can use this apply all slicer. Then use a Power Query parameter for environment switching. So whenever we are importing a report, importing a data, right, the data looks like this in the Power Query. So here the data looks like this, right? If we go to this advanced editor, it shows from which data source we have imported, which database and table names, everything it will be displaying. But this is not the optimized way because when we are moving, suppose this development is done in dev, we need to move it to prod. In that case, we need to rename this database name as per the prod. Only one table is here, but if we have multiple tables, no, it will be very difficult for us to go to advanced editor. Again, we need to change everything. So instead of that, what we can do is we can go to this manage parameter, click on new parameter. So if we can see here now for this table, I have imported the data from MySQL. So the server name is localhost and the database name is superstore underscore DB. So I will be using the same in parameter here. I'll create two parameters now. One is for server name. So I will rename this to server name, and type I will be choosing it as text, and the current value is localhost. Then next parameter I'm going to create for database. Database name, then click on text here and type and paste that value superstore data underscore dp and click on OK here. So two parameters it's created now. So what we need to do is in Power BI we can see there will be an option called a view. In that, in parameter section, we need to check this always allow. So once if we check this one, right, what it does is we can go to home, click on this data source setting, then click on change source. So here for server name, it has been it's manually appearing here, right? So what we need to do is we need to change to parameter. So for that, what we can do, we need to click on this app for server. We are using the parameter right now. We need to use it. So click on this parameter. So we need to select the server name. So server name, it picks automatically whatever it's been displayed here. No, it will appear here. Now again, we are using database. For database also, we are using the parameter. Click on that and click on the right parameter. Database name we have created. So same thing, you click here and click on OK. And you can close here. So what it does is automatically the parameter will be appearing in this place. Initially, we have seen localhost and DB name, right? So it will be replaced with the parameter. So likewise, it will be useful when we have a 10, 20, 30 tables. If we have in mm, a report, in that case, this parameter will be useful. Now what we can do, whenever the DB name is changing, we can change it in this parameter automatically in all 30, 40 tables, it will be applied. If we didn't create this parameter, right, what we need to do, we need to go to each and every table and we need to change the name when we are moving to UAT or prod. So click on close and apply. So this is one of the optimized way. Uh, this is what we have discussed this point. Create a dedicated measure table. So if we go to Power BI report, if you go to this report, we can see there are multiple measures being created, but it's been uh, available in the fact table only. So it is very messy, right? We can't identify uh, like it is messy here. It is clubbed with the data itself. So in that case, what we can do, go to enter data, click on that enter data, create a table name as measure table, measure table, click on load. So what it does is it creates a table here as a measure table. So here we can move all the measures, whatever it's available here, right? We can move here. We can see how we can move that. Click on this modeling. Go to tables here. Go to this order. Click on this profit. If you want to move this profit to this measure table, click on this. Click on this properties. In this property, you will be having this home table. We need to move this measure to this table, right? Click on measure table. Automatically, this profit will be moved to the measure table. Here we can see. So if you can see under this measure table, this profits been moved. So you may have a question like one by one we need to move it, or we can move it in a bulk. So in that case, what we can do, we can go to this particular fact table, click on this ellipsis. We can click on this select measure. So whatever measure is available in this particular table, right, it will be selected. Then we can go to this property, click on this measure table. All the measures, whatever it's been available in the fact table, it will be moved to measure table now. So if you can see the data for order table, it's been very clean. Whatever the column is available, it will be available in the order table, and whatever measure we have created, it will be available here. If you want, we can delete this column one. It is very neat, right? So we can maintain like this whenever we are developing a report. So this is what we have in these 2 points: creating a dedicated measure table and moving the bulk measure to a measure table here. Next step is use calculation group. So calculation group means creating one calculation once and apply it to many different measures. So instead of creating a multiple measure, we can use the same logic, and we can reuse this one calculation group multiple times. So we can see with an example. So for example, our manager is telling us to create a KPI which should show current year sales, current year profit, current year quantity, for which we need to see all the previous values, and we need to see the difference, and we need to see the change in percentage. So what we will do normally, we will be creating this. For example, for sales, we need to create a measure called current year sales and previous sales, one measure, and sales differences and sales change percentage. So we need to create 4 measure here. We will be using the same logic to create for profit also and for quantity also. So there will be multiple measures involved in the same logic, right? So instead of this, what we can do is we can use this calculation group. So we can see how we can use this. What we can do, we can go to modeling here. So before that, we can see this table is having the same calculation. I have created 4 measures which says current year sales, previous year sales, percentage difference, and variance. So we don't want so much of measures here. If manager is asking us to create profit and quantity, again I need to create more measure, right? So instead of that, what we can do, go to modeling, click on this calculation group. Automatically a calculation group will be created here. If you can see here, under this calculation item, we need to create the measures. So what we have seen here, current year sales we need to create, right? So for that, what we can do, I'll use the same measure name. So same measure name I am giving here, and selected measure we need to give here. So what does this selected measure means? Give me the current measure as it is. So whatever the measure which we are giving in the visual, it picks that and it calculates based on that. So that is the use of this selected measure. CY sales I am creating in the calculation groups. If you see here now, there is a calculation group under which there is a calculation item. I'll be creating the CY sales here. So next what we need to do, we need to create this previous year sales. So for that, I will be using the same logic. Now what we need to do, I should not create a measure, I need to create a calculated item, calculation item. So I'll click on this. I'll paste this previous sales measure here. So I have the sales measure, so I'll update this. Here I will update the date column which is already available in the master table. Instead of using same period last year, I can use previous year also. So I'm using previous year and I'm using the date master date table date and I'm closing the bracket here. So previous year sales it will be available here. So now what we need to do? We need to see the sales difference, right? So for that, what we can do, we can use the same logic here. Create new calculation item. Sorry, I did a mistake here. Previous year sales, right? I used the previous year sales here. Sorry, sales measure here. Instead of that, what we need to do, I need to use the selected measure. So this is the dynamic way, right? We should not use the sales measure here. We need to click OK. So same thing, I'll copy and new item I'll create. Mm, differences. Differences means current year sales minus previous year sales, right? For current year sales, what we have given, selected measure. It should be whatever the values are available minus, and this is the logic which we have given in the previous year sales, right? We can give the same logic here and click on OK. Only thing what I will do is I'll rename this because it is common for all the KPIs which we are going to use. So instead of updating the calculation group as CY sales, I'll just keep it as CY and PY sales as PY. So for percentage change, this is the logic. Sales differences are divided by PY sales. So only change percentage I will give. Again, we can create new calculation item. Here we can give the percentage change. Now use the divide tax. Inside that we need to give current year sales. For current year sales, we are giving selected measure minus previous year sales. For previous year sales, we are giving this logic. Again, selected calculated DAX. Inside that, we are giving selected measure, comma, previous year, date, date master date we are giving. And then we need to divide with the same previous year, right? For finding out the percentage change, current year minus previous year divided by previous year, right? So for that, I'm using this same DAX and then close the bracket. So your change percentage, it will come here now. What you can do, you can take this formula minus this formula and then divided by PY formula. So that's what I have given here. Then we have created all these four measures now, calculation item. So we can go to this table. What I will do, I'll convert this table into metrics and I'll remove all the measures here. And in calculation group, we will be having this calculation group, right? So whatever we have created, it will be available here. I am dropping this here. And whatever the if I need sales, right, I have created this sales measure. So what I will do, I'll just drag here. Automatically it creates the calculation. One logic I have written, the same logic it will apply for sales, profit, quantity. So whatever KPI you needed, you can use the same logic with the multiple measures. Like that we can use it. So now if we can see the Alignment is different here. Percentage is first here, CY is here. So what you can do, you can go to this particular calculation item. You can rearrange here like this. So you will get the current year value, previous year value, differences, change in percentage for sales. You can, yeah, if you want to change it to profit, again you can change it to profit of, or if you want sales and profit together, you can use the same like this. So if you can see, current year sales profit, previous year sales profit differences, change in percentage also it's available. Instead of creating a multiple measure, one logic we have written on top of that, we are using the KPIs, whichever we needed. So this is how we can create a calculation group. This is also an optimized way. The next tip is Control plus G in Power Query. So what is that is, we can go to transform data. Normally, what we will do is to search some particular column, we'll drag like this to find out some date column, profit, or some. If we want to see some profit column or any column, we need to drag and see which is profit and which is sales like that. So instead of that, what we can do is we can click Control plus G in keyboard. So here we will be having all the column names. So if you want to go to this profit column, right, just click on this and click on OK. It directly take to that particular column which we have selected. So it is very useful. So this is one of the tips. Next tip is field parameters. So this field parameters, it will be very useful. If, for example, if client is asking us to create a chart for sales by country, so we don't want to copy the same visual and update this chart instead of segment. We will be normally updating like this, right? Instead of that, we can give them a toggle button by using this field parameter, and we can switch between country and the sales so that we don't want to repeat the chart in this canvas. So we can see how to do that. Go to modeling, go to new parameter, click on this fields. So now we needed country, right? Click on country already. uh, Suppose if you want category also, you can click it. And initially it was there in segment, right? Click on this and click on this check tick mark so that a slicer will be visible here. So this slicer will be visible here. Instead of displaying like this, what we can do is we can go to this format, go to slicer setting, click on this styles. So three option you will be seeing here. So now what we can do is in this chart, instead of updating this segment in x-axis, you can just drag this parameter value here and remove the segment. So if we click a country sales will be there, and if we click category, oh sorry, here I have used this apply all slicer, no, so that's why it's asking me for a permission. If you see here, not yet applied, I will remove this one, apply all slicer. So if you can see, if I click on category, based on category, the sales will be displayed here. And if we click on segment, segment wise sales will be displayed here. Instead of creating a three separate charts, we can use a single chart and we can use this parameter. So it is also one of the optimized way to use it in reports. Next is create multiple measure at a time in TMDL view. So what we can do is we can go to this TMDL view, update the script like create or replace refer table orders, and whatever the measure which you are planning to create it, right, update like this with this indentation. For example, I have created it for profit. We can create it for multiple measures here like sum of sales, sum of quantity, like that. So what is the benefit of this is, instead of going to the home and creating the measure by clicking on this option every time, just to copy this indentation, the script whatever we have it here, and just create whatever you needed, like sales means sales, directly you create it like this, and just click on apply. Automatically whatever we have created here now, it will be displaying here in the table, and we can move the measure whatever we needed to move to measure table. Now we can move it. So this is like easiest way to create the measure. Next point is move Power BI page easily. So normally what we will be doing is, if you want to shift this last page or in between, if you want to shuffle the pages, like page 23, it should go nearby page 1. We will be doing like this, moving here. Again we'll scroll to left and we'll search for the page where it is, and again we'll search, move little bit like this, and again we will scroll like this. Likewise we will be moving it. It was very difficult process for us to move the pages from here and there. So instead of doing like this, now recently what Power BI have come up with an update is, we can just scroll it like this. Means we can move the page like this. If you can see here, automatically the pages in the left hand side, it will be scrolling. So this update is very useful for us. So this is one of the useful tip, I believe. The next tip is use new landing page features. um, So, whenever we are developing a report, we will be publishing the report in Power BI service, right? So, by mistake, this will be our landing page. Instead of that, by mistake, we supposed to work on this page. By mistake, we have published this page too, by saving it in the Power BI service. So, when client is opening the report, what they will see is, first they will see this page two only. So we need to, initially what we need to do is, we need to go to page one, save it and publish in this manner only. But now what they have come up with the update is, we can right click on this page one, set as a landing page. So it will consider this as a landing page. Suppose if we are working in this page two, by mistake we have saved and published in Power BI service, when client is opening, it automatically shifts to this page one, and client will be viewing only this page one view only, not the page two. So this is one of the a useful update which we have got it. So this is also an useful tips, I believe. So hope this video is useful to you all. Thank you.